Also, the mobs always spawn at 3 points, always at the same spot. So make sure when one of the mobs spawns, just stand next to the portal so you can start damaging the mob right away. And even before the other 2 mobs from the 2 spawn places that are a little bit further away hit you, the first one will already be dead, so you only have to deal with 2 of those mobs anymore. Here, very important, there is those 3 small islands and there is water around. Make sure not to stand in the water because at some point it gets electrified, and every time you step in the water it deals a shit ton of damage, and you really want to avoid that. If you get hit by a mob and with this shock in the water, you're most likely dead. Now here you see 2 mobs, one on the right side. This dude on the right side is mainly a melee, but he sometimes throws this dagger at you. It is best that you either block it or dodge roll it, because it deals insane damage. He doesn't have a lot of HP, so he should be dead quite fast. Also, the mob on the left side, it's a ranged mob. It throws these darts at you. They also deal a lot of damage. So either block them, or like you can take one of those attacks into the face, but I wouldn't take both, because if something else hits you, you're most likely dead. But they both don't have a lot of HP, so they die pretty fast. Okay, here you see this green AoE on the ground. Like when the mobs stand in there, they will get healed. However, the heal is very low, so you kind of can ignore it. But if you want, you also can try to get the mob out of it. But yeah, usually the mob dies anyway. Then here on the left side you can see these lightning strikes that are coming from the air. Like this enemy AoE is very small, but you really want to avoid it because it deals quite a lot of damage. Okay, here you see the red AoE on the ground. It's kind of poison damage. Don't stand in it because it deals quite a lot of damage. Then you see on the left side there is this green Lamia. This one is different from the first one. The first one was red. So now the red Lamias, they are mainly ranged. They throw those darts. And this green one is a melee dude. He hits you with his hands. He also has quite a nasty AoE attack, similar to the ones from the Dwemer automatons. You can almost not see it, and it's just some dust that comes up on the ground. So whenever you run to this green Lamia, make sure not to go straight to it, because when his AoE attack knocks you back and another mob hits you, you're most likely dead. So make sure to go kind of in a circular way to the mob. After some time you might know the animation, how it looks like, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue anymore. Then we see the snake. The snakes also deal quite a lot of melee damage. Then they also, like when they embrace themselves, kind of, they are healing themselves, so make sure to bash those mobs. So otherwise they will be at full health in no time. They also have a cone attack, but it's easy avoidable, you will see. Now here you see this mage. It is not really dangerous, it just does mainly light attacks and this shitty glow bubble that gets you stuck on the ground, but like most of the mobs in this stage, it doesn't have a lot of health, so just make sure to kill it as fast as possible. So this is kind of the final round of the first wave. So Basically, you get two of those mages, a melee dude, and then this big Wamasu monster. What I usually do here is I kill off the mages first, then the melee dude, and then the Wamasu. Also, try to kite the Wamasu because he deals quite a lot of damage, and you really don't want to stand in his AoE attacks. But let's see. Another thing, you see there is quite a lot of stuff going on. The enemy healing circle on the ground, and then there is the enemy poison AoE on the ground. It's a lot of stuff going on that you need to be aware of. Okay, now this is one of the Wamasu's AoE attacks. He hits you with his tail. As you can see, I will get hit by it, and you see how it drains my HP almost to half, so you really want to avoid that. You can dodge roll it if you want, but usually it takes him a while to charge attack up, so it's easy avoidable. Same thing here, the Wamasu again. It's kind of a cone shock breath attack. If you take the damage into your face, you will most likely die unless you have shields or like some high damage mitigation up. But again, it's really easy avoidable because he doesn't turn around, etc. and it's very small, so you just can walk out of it easily. Okay, the most annoying thing in this stage, those stranglers, like they already spawned before, like they kind of spawn randomly from time to time, always on one of the islands in the water. You will notice they have a spit attack and it will put a snare on you, so whenever you get slowed down, you know there is a strangler shooting his poison snare darts at you. They don't have a lot of health, so make sure to kill them fast. It's really like, if you watch out a little bit, you will see them easily, and they're dead really fast because very, very low HP. Again, here you see enemy poison damage on the ground, enemy healing circle on the ground, water charged with shock. There is so much stuff you have to be aware of, so just make sure to be in movement most of the times. Like if there's too much shit enemy AoE on the ground, just move to another island. At the back you can see there is two portals spawning. I already know that the one further in the back is a new strangler, so you can kind of see it like this. If there's two more spawning, one more like in the water, it's most likely a new strangler. Now this is the last round of the second wave, I think, yeah. Here you see 3 Lamias and 1 Stem Sorc. Zenimax really loves their Stem Sorcs NPCs, I guess. Anyway, make sure to kill off the Lamias first. And when you're done with the Lamias, you want to deal with the shock dude. Let's see. Okay, like this dude is not really dangerous at all alone, so that's why we want to kill off the other mobs first. So now he doesn't have a lot of attacks. He has this shock AoE. He charges up, so it's really easy to avoid. Like it takes him like 1 second or even more to charge it up and then to release it. Then another thing, he has a wrecking blow attack, but as you know, it's like 1 second and you can either dodge roll it or block it. This mob, when it's alone, it's not dangerous at all. Okay, last round of the third wave, if I remember correctly. This one is a little bit tricky and luck based. So now here 2 Lamias will spawn and 1 mage and a witch. So make sure to kill off the Lamias first and then the mage. Basically just kill the small mobs first and then the big mob. Okay, let's see. Sometimes there is a weird bug going on that the witch, already you're out of range, it pulls you, kind of like the old Strangler's attack, and you're unable to do anything, and if probably the free range mobs will hit you and you're dead. But it doesn't happen that often. So you saw, this pull is nasty as fuck. You get pulled to the mob, and in the same second the fucking shock attack from the water hits you, you can do nothing about that. Now, if you're a Zork or any Magicka dude, you have healing ward that protects your ass. But for stamina, this shit, it's really annoying. If 1 or 2 of the ranged mobs hit you at the same time, you're fucking dead. It's just retarded. Another thing you have to be aware of, the witch. You see this black beam that goes from her to me. It's kind of a drain attack, so make sure to interrupt bash the witch, then it will stop. You also can see that her light attacks deal insane amount of damage, which means if you get hit by maybe from the lightning strike or the poison damage from the enemy and the attack, your HP will be very low or you might be also dead. So really, you can try to block it or dodge roll it. Just make sure to have some healing effect on yourself. So now the boss phase. The boss light attack deal insane damage. So really, when you're in melee range, you want to have a healing effect on yourself or some shield. If you have the possibility to kite the mob, then kite it. The reason here I don't take a lot of that, well, not a lot, it's still like one hit is 25% of my shitty HP. I have Veil of Blades on the ground, 30% damage reduction, and the Shadow Image, another 15% damage reduction. So I have a total of 45% damage reduction. And he still hits quite hard. So now you see the boss, he's kind of charging up his hands and throwing lightning strikes at you. During this time he will not light attack you, so the red AoE is really easy avoidable, so that's your time where you can damage the boss. Okay, once you drop the boss to 75%, there will be two mobs spawning, a mage and a melee dude that sometimes throws his daggers. And you also can see the boss, he does his screaming attack, this cone AoE. If you stand in that, you will get stunned and you have to break free. And if the two other mobs hit you during that time, you're most likely dead. So now here, you want to kill those small ads as fast as possible, because when the boss hits you with his light attacks plus the two mobs, you're dead. You see, I'm almost avoiding most of the attacks because like I have enough stamina to dodge roll. If you're a ranged build, then just try to kite as much as possible. Then another thing, again, those stranglers that spawn throughout all of the stage 3, try to kill them as fast as possible because the snare they put on you is very annoying and it can kill you. At 50% of boss HP you will have one mob spawning, this snake. Just kill it as fast as possible and make sure it doesn't heal himself, and then after it's dead you can focus on the boss again. At 25% of boss HP there will be two more ads spawning, namely two lamias. So now what you can try is, there is different ways to do this, like if you care for score, just kill those two ads first and then focus the boss again. If you're unsure what to do, just take the defensive sigils, because then most of the attacks get reflected and you just can focus on the boss and kill him off. Again, this round is crazy, there's so much stuff going on. Lightning strikes from the air, poison damage, enemy healing, AoE effect, and like shock in the water and all that stuff. So if you're doing this the first time, or like you just want to get through the arena, don't be afraid to take sigils. They make your life a lot easier.